She was elected by the people. She smiled at City Hall. She shook hands, kissed babies, and waved at parades. And the whole time, she was working for a foreign government. This is not a movie. This happened right here in America yesterday. What you are about to hear will make you question everything you think you know about who is running your local government. A sitting mayor of an American city has just agreed to plead guilty to acting as a secret agent for the People's Republic of China. Not a spy thriller, not a Netflix series. Real life, real votes, real betrayal. I'm your name. And right now, this story is exploding across every platform in the country. Let's break it down. Eileen Wang, 58-year-old mayor of Arcadia, California, on a suburb just outside Los Angeles, resigned from her position Monday as federal officials announced she will plead guilty to acting as an illegal agent of the Chinese government. Let that sink in. A woman who was voted into public office by her neighbors, by real people in a real community, was secretly taking direction from the communist Chinese government the entire time. Wang is charged with one count of acting in the United States as an illegal agent of a foreign government, a felony that carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in federal prison. And here's where it gets even more jaw-dropping. Wang and her co-conspirator, Yaoning Mike Sun, her former fiance and campaign manager, they operated a website called U.S News Center, which claimed to be a legitimate news source for the local Chinese American community. But behind the scenes, it was a propaganda machine, pushing content designed to serve Beijing's interests. This wasn't some random crime. According to her own plea agreement from late 2020 through 2022, Wang and Sun worked at the direction and control of Chinese government officials, coordinating to promote the PRC's interests by spreading pro-China propaganda inside the United States. And in one damning piece of evidence prosecutors revealed, Wang sent a message to a colleague asking them to post an article, and wrote, and I'm going to read this to you exactly, "This is what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs wants to send. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China telling an American mayor what to publish." Now, here's why this story is hitting so differently from other political scandals. This isn't Washington, D.C. This isn't a senator or a congressman in some marble building far away from regular people. Arcadia is a city in Los Angeles County where up to 60% of the population is Asian, a tight-knit community that trusted Eileen Wang as one of their own. She wasn't a shadowy figure. She was their neighbor. Their representative, someone people voted for because they believed she understood their lives. City manager Dominic Lazaretto confirmed that no city finances or staff were involved, but that does nothing to ease the psychological shock of what this community is feeling right now. And the timing of this announcement, a former prosecutor, Lou Shapiro, told ABC7, and I'm quoting, "I think there is no coincidence to the timing of that. I think he's trying to use this as an opportunity to show them that we are on to you, and that you may think you're getting something over on us, but we're not going to let that happen." Because this announcement dropped the same day President Trump flew to Beijing for a face-to-face meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. One American mayor exposed as a Chinese agent, one American president walking into China's door, all on the same day. This case didn't appear out of nowhere. The web of this operation goes deeper than just one mayor. Wang's former fiance, Mike Sun, is already sitting in federal prison. He pleaded guilty in October 2025 to acting as a foreign agent and is currently serving a 4-year sentence. And Sun was not just her boyfriend, he was her campaign manager. The man who helped get her elected was already convicted of being a Chinese spy. Court documents show a third person, Chen Jun, was sentenced in November 2024 to 20 months in federal prison as part of the same network. This was a coordinated ring, not one rogue actor, a network operating inside an American suburb for years. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X saying, quote, "Mayor Wang admitted to acting as a foreign agent from at least 2020 through 2022, promoting PRC propaganda in the US and acting at PRC's direction to promote their interests. FBI and our federal partners continue to move aggressively to root out this kind of influence in American institutions all over the country." All over the country. Those 4 words are what should keep people up at night. The reaction in Arcadia has been described as nothing short of devastated. Residents who voted for Wang, who saw her at community events and school meetings and city celebrations, are now processing something that feels almost impossible. Wang's own attorneys released a statement saying she recognizes the seriousness of the charge and accepts responsibility for past personal mistakes, and that she apologizes and is sorry for the mistakes she has made in her personal life. past personal mistakes. That's what they're calling secretly working for a foreign government while serving as an elected official. Needless to say, people on every side of the political spectrum are not buying that framing. Democrats and Republicans alike have condemned what happened. This is one of those rare stories where outrage doesn't care about your party, because nobody voted for China. Within hours of the announcement, social media erupted. The hashtags Arcadia betrayal and the Chinese spy were trending on X within minutes of the Department of Justice press release. Clips of Wang smiling at city council meetings were going viral side by side with screenshots from her plea agreement. One post that spread rapidly read, "She was at your community events, she was at your kids' school fundraisers, and she was filing reports back to Beijing." Commenters from both sides of the aisle were reacting with the same word, stunned. The story was the #1 trending topic across major platforms within hours of beating out every other news cycle of the day. Because this story speaks to something primal, the fear of betrayal from someone you trusted. So where does this go from here? First, Wang is expected to formally enter her guilty plea in the coming weeks in federal court in downtown Los Angeles. At sentencing, she faces up to 10 years. Second, the FBI's statement that this is happening all over the country has sent investigators and local officials across the United States scrambling to examine whether similar operations exist in other cities. Because if it happened in Arcadia, California, it can happen anywhere. Third, this story lands in the middle of the most delicate moment in U.S. China relations in years. Trump is in Beijing today for a high-stakes summit with Xi Jinping covering trade, Taiwan, and Iran. The exposure of a Chinese propaganda ring operating inside an American city government on the eve of that summit is a message. Whether that message helps or hurts those negotiations is something the entire world will be watching. And fourth, there are serious questions being raised right now about election integrity and local government infiltration that neither party can afford to ignore. How many other city councils? How many other local officials? How many other news websites? The FBI says they are looking. Here is the truth that this story forces us all to face. The greatest threat to democracy doesn't always wear a uniform. It doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it shows up in a suburb, wins a city council election, sits across from your family at a community dinner, and quietly does the work of a foreign government. Eileen Wang looked like a success story. A Chinese immigrant turned American politician, a community leader, but behind that smile was a secret. And now Arcadia, and all of America, is left asking one haunting question: who else? If this story shocked you, hit that subscribe button, because this case is just getting started. New details are breaking by the hour. We will keep you ahead of every development. This has been a The Patriot Report breaking news special. Stay informed, stay sharp, and never stop asking questions.